When I was a kid, I played video games during my free time. Most of them were the typical first-person shooters almost everybody was talking about at the time, which were mostly Call of Duty and Battlefield. However, every time I played them, I always felt a bit disappointed. It wasn't that the games were bad, but something was missing for me and I just didn't know what it was. That is, until in 2016, when I saw the trailer for the revival of the father of all shooters, Doom, developed by ID Software and published by Bethesda. And boy, that awoke something in me. The idea of being a big green man too angry to die while fighting hordes of demons sounded so much fun to me. However, as a broke high school student, I didn't have the money to get it. So it took some time, but in 2024 I was finally able to get my hands on it. And after finishing it, I understood what all of these other games were missing. It was power. Raw, brutal, and unrestrained power. Let me explain. Up to this point, the only shooters I've played were more tactical, and trying to rush would more often than not get me killed. This made sense because these kinds of games were trying to emulate what it feels like to be in the army or a military operation. Doom, on the other hand, was doing the complete opposite. It was a fast-paced and brutal shoot first ask questions later type of game that rewarded aggression and quick thinking over careful planning. I didn't have to follow orders from someone or have to care about casualties. I could just go crazy and shoot everything that moved. It was the first time I played a game that dared to show me just how powerful the main character truly is. While other games would have me taking cover and shooting enemies as they got closer or flanking them, Doom had me rushing into hordes of demons with a shotgun in one hand and a chainsaw in the other. In other words, Doom was the first game that made me feel like a one-man army. And I mean, can you blame me? Imagine being a 6-foot-tall dude that's built like a brick house, can move faster than any other living creature on Earth, is armed to the teeth with the most advanced weapons and armor humanity can create, and can get ammunition from demons by giving them the piñata treatment, but instead of using a stick, you use a chainsaw. Yeah, I don't think so. While I do have a preference for games with good stories, I also like games that are, first and foremost, fun. And this is exactly what Doom is, which is important because its story is by all means simple, but also effective. Here is a short summary. Samuel Hayden is a scientific mega-genius who founded the Union Aerospace Corporation, or UAC, built a facility on Mars, and had the quote-unquote bright idea of harvesting hell for its resources to solve an energy crisis on Earth. One of his scientists is Olivia Pierce, and she got tricked by the demons to open a portal to connect Mars to Hell. Samuel realized something was going on with her, so he made an expedition to Hell and found you, the Doomslayer, imprisoned in a tomb, and brought you back to his facility in case something happened. And well, it did. Olivia freed all the demons the UAC had previously captured for experimentation, and they proceeded to redecorate the facility with the bodies of other UAC employees, so Samuel freed you to stop them. As you go back and forth between Hell and Mars, you find new weapons, upgrades and runes to make yourself better, faster, stronger and more lethal against the demons until you eventually stop the invasion. That's the gist of it, and that's really all you need to know. Then, if you want to learn more about the world, the demons, and the characters, you can look into the codex to read the entries you collect on every stage. And to learn more about the Doomslayer, you can listen to the Slayer testaments you find in the missions in Hell. I think this is the first game I played where the enemy was afraid of the protagonist, which made Doom even cooler for me. However, as you can see, the story is very simple. But that doesn't really matter, because what Doom lacks in a detailed storyline, it makes up in gameplay, which is where it truly shines. First of all, you don't get any boring and lengthy tutorials. Instead, you get thrown into the action and get text boxes briefly showing you what to do, while the story is also direct enough to guide you. What I like the most about the gameplay, though, lies in the simplicity of its combat. To summarize Doom's combat, you only have to keep in mind the following. Don't stay in one place for too long, use the correct weapons on the right enemies, remember to use the different weapon mods, perform glory kills at every opportunity, use the chainsaw when low on ammo, pick up power-ups at the right time, and save the BFG for big, tanky enemies. And that's it. But my favorite aspect of the combat were by far the glory kills, because they kept the flow of a fight and rewarded me with health for being aggressive. And also the power-ups, because they made the fights more intense in a good way. For example, there is the Berserker power-up, which gave me some cool animations that show me a little bit more of the Slayer's brutal fighting style. I also like the weapons that you can get from secret areas or by progressing the story. I won't get into much detail about them, but here is a list of them in no particular order. There is a pistol, a shotgun, a super shotgun, a plasma rifle, Gauss cannon, heavy assault rifle, a chain gun, a rocket launcher, a chainsaw, and the BFG 9000. All the weapons are upgradable and customizable, so you can make them more lethal, which is good because the enemies kept getting harder as you progress the story. Well, except the chainsaw, you cannot customize that. Personally, I like most of them. The only gun that felt out of place was the pistol because of how underwhelming it was in compared to the rest. It would have been great if the upgrades would have made it into a kick-ass weapon, but they didn't. On the bright side, it has infinite ammo and a charge shot for more damage, so it is effective for taking out the weakest enemies and save ammunition of your other guns for the big guys. There is also a bit of exploration and platforming which rewards you with upgrades, armor, health, ammo, new weapons, collectibles, and secrets. Some of these secrets involve Predator suit points. With this you can improve your dexterity by making you faster at climbing ledges, reloading, and changing weapon mods. Your exploration to make it easier to detect secrets and hidden items, equipment to upgrade your grenades and make them more effective, your resistance makes you more, well, resistant to damage from the environment, your own weapons and explosive barrels, and power-ups to make them more effective and to last longer. Then we have the runes. These give you useful bonuses to support you in combat that you get after completing specific challenges. For example, you can get a rune that keeps enemies staggered for longer so you have more time to perform a glory kill, attracts ammo and health when dropped by an enemy, perform glory kills faster, or survive a deadly attack once to get a chance to recover health by killing an enemy. Then we have the Argent Cells, which basically lets you upgrade the Slayer by improving his health, armor, and ammo. Then we have the weapon mods. These allow you to modify and change your weapons in different ways. There is a few things you can do here, so I will not give much details. I'm just gonna say that my favorites were adding a grenade launcher to your shotgun, the mini rockets in the heavy rifle, the heat blast from the plasma rifle, and the charge shot with the Gauss cannon. Next we have the maps, which as you would expect, it shows you where you are, where to go, and where to find secrets and other stuff. I like collecting stuff in games, so I don't mind spending some time researching for items around the stages, but I had to actively remember to use the map to make sure I don't miss them. Now, the last secret, and my personal favorite, has to be the levers that open a secret area resembling the classic Doom stages. As someone who has never played the classic Doom games, it is nice to see how the stages looked and how much respect the developers have for their first title. Now the last thing that I really loved about this game, it just has to be the design. Like, besides the gameplay, the second thing that Doom nailed was the visual and sound design. From the start, you're introduced to a place that has been devastated by the demons, with entire rooms decorated with blood and meat statues created with the bodies of UAC employees, giving you a clear picture of just how bad the situation is without directly telling you. In the UAC stages, you can see how advanced their technology is, and the presence of candles and symbols hint at a cult-like nature of the activities performed by some of the personnel, despite being people of science. Well, that and the human sacrifices too. The hell stages, on the other hand, are desolated of all life, and you can only find stones, skulls, guts, and some crude constructs with symbolism showing how savage the demons are despite being able to create portals to different worlds. Speaking of demons, their design is also great. They all look like strong, unformidable opponents that come in different shapes and sizes, and they can all kill you if you're not careful, especially the bosses. However, I can't talk about the ambience of a Doom game without mentioning the best part, the music. I am not a metal fan, but Mick Gordon did an amazing job at creating the perfect tracks to make each moment more intense. Each track is strong, aggressive, cool, and most importantly, it complements the combat instead of feeling like background noise. Now I understand why some people say that Doom is a metal album with a free game. Overall, I love this game, and I can see the love and dedication the developers put into making it. So I'm happy I finally got to play it live on stream, even if it was several years after its release. It is not every day that I get to play a game like this and have this much fun, so it easily became one of my favorite games ever. Now, next on my list is Doom Eternal, and I will let you guys know what I think about it after I finish it. See you later, bros.